Hi. Hello,
Hi.
brother. I can see the other student.
So it
Ah,
says Vlad.
yes. I can see
Here
you
we
now.
go. Okay.
Here we
Before
go.
it before it not works.
Yay,
So,
it worked.
Hey, great.
Okay.
so Alfredo, we need to record a whole meeting, and everyone need to send it with our assignment. So if you read my so I asked professor about what he expect from us, and he said these things, and I sent to everyone in Google Doc. So yeah, so you need to record a whole meeting and send link that we yeah.
Yeah. Don't worry. I'm recording the meeting. Uh, we are in live through YouTube. YouTube. We are
Okay.
in live. Okay. I will share my screen with you to explain what I learned. So, can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Great. So sorry for the delay. It's the first time that I work with this tool. Well, the first topic has to do with loop, conditional statement, function, variable, parameter array, and associative array. So to start, I will explain what is an object. An object has properties and methods. Properties like shape, for example, an object balloon soccer has property like shape, color, size, and weight, and it has methods like method are like something that the method make or do, like rotate, roll, or bounce. Conditional statement. I will display to you some practical example that I make, but I really need so fast because uh, we we lost a lot of time. So um,
Yeah.
a conditional statement, for example, compares one or several things. Perhaps, for example, if we have logical operator like and or not, we can compare more than one more than one thing. Uh, it return true. For example, i- imagine you have an if here. So we compare two values. If the result is true, then the statement is executed and finished. If not, uh, we imagine you have here and else. So another another request is making and another comparison. So if the else is right or is true, because uh, it works like Boolean. Boolean returns true or false. So we compare two things. If the result is true, then execute the statement, and else if it's like a default. Switch is something is a thing similar because we have a condition and we compare this condition which with each block is if the block is true then execute, if not we pass to the next case. If the block is true then you run the code inside the block and so on. A variable has three main principles. First, it has a declaration and initialization and assignment. Uh, for instance, when we write var a equals 0, we just declare the variable automatically. We initialization, we make an initialization, which means that the variable will use some memory, and we assign a value to this variable. In JavaScript, we declare a variable like var, like let. Let is something new for modern JavaScript. It has a better scope and a constant that is a variable that never changes through the program. Uh, a variable has a scope, which means that um, the variable are inside the variable which is inside the function that doesn't work outside the function because this is a local variable. We have a global variable too, which means that if I declare a variable outside the function, for example, I get here a function get age. This variable is outside the function. I can use it inside the function because this is a global variable. Array and associate array. Array a collection element and works to index. The first element of an array is 0, and it start count from 0. To declare an array, we use this symbol, and this is an object. An object has two parameters, t and a value, and we use this symbol to declare an object. We have here uh, an array person and an object person. Um, Associated arrays are arrays which name are not indexed like this instead of our name, but JavaScript that doesn't support it. So we don't have much line. We don't. I will not speak much about associated array because I will. It doesn't work with JavaScript. Function. Well, a function. First of all, it must be invoked. For example, I have here. I have here a variable amount, and I storing in this variable the result of this function. Get the amount. I have here the function get amount. I invoking this function. Uh, this function receive parameters like a and b, which are as 6 and 2, and a function returns something. And we can use a function as many times as we want. These are the main thing of function because we can use it many times during a program. And I have here, my example. And I create an object, called alum. This object has several properties like name, last name, passport, age, gender, and grade. So after I create this, um, I save it inside inside an array. So the array student have all these objects because I said before that an array stores different elements. So I can store an object too. To add an object, I only need to use the method put. Put we talked before that the method are actions that perform the object that are performed over the object. So with a method put, I can add a a new object to the student and array. And I have here a display student, uh, which is a function. I'm calling a function. So when I display a student, I'm calling this function. This function don't take any parameters, but it is run all the all the array. To run an array, I use a for. This, this sentence is the length of the array, and to run it, I just say that while I is less than the length of the array, I run all of that is inside of this sign. Um, I create a variable alum which will contain the first element of uh, of the array, each object. But when I put the Y letter, it means that it starts in 0. So it will take the first element. So to run an object, I use this. I run the object, each element of the object, and I store each element inside this variable, and I join each element. So I will explain how it works. Um, don't see it you don't see now, only this. I create a different object and I display it through a function that I explained recently, and I create another function. For example, I sort the students by the grade. So the student who has the grade higher are in the upper of the list. I, I create another function that get the best student. Here I have the best student are Dennis and Marcos. So we display the best student, which are Dennis and Marcos, and here I create another function that displays the worst student, which is Luis Morales with 6th grade. All of these are functions that I create. For example, if I want to add another student, like Pedro, era, passport, age, I don't know, 60, male. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. In grade 5, and I add a new student, I'm using the put um, property, and you can see that now I'm here. So this is what I've done, and the code that I use is this. For the time, I don't think that I will explain each part of the code, but this function, for example, what it take the parameters of each of the form, each element of the form. The form, the form is here. It has an ID, so it take each element of the ID, and I store it in a variable. Then to add a new student, I create an object student, and this inside of this object, I save each uh, property with his value, first name, last name, and passport age. And after that, I save in the array student the new object that I create that I received from the form. And after that, I display uh, the the function that I create. All of these functions, all of this code I will share with you, and don't worry. And for example, I display to you that the students are sort. This is a function that I use to sort the student. Um, okay. Um, this is the function that I use to get the lower grade. This function, uh, what make is to order by grade. If you can see, I have here the grade. If I want to get the lowest grade, I just need to put A and B. If I want to get the best grade, the only thing that I need to do is to change B for A. And well, that is my presentation. I sorry for for my language, for not explain so well, and for the all the problems that we have recently. But if you have any question, please um, say it.
I don't have any questions. That was a good presentation. Thank you.
I don't have also.
Alfredo, Darren, are you able to share your PowerPoint with us?
Of course.
That would be
Okay.
great.
You
And
see,
I got one more question about the class. Are we supposed to do these presentations and get it loaded onto GitHub as well?
When I asked professor about GitHub, he said it's not important to use GitHub. So if you don't have any other tool, you can use GitHub. But if you have
Okay.
some site or something, you don't need to send to professor GitHub, and you don't need to use it on presentation. That's what he answered me.
I think
Okay.
you can send just like for instance, for your presentation, you can send just a link to him. But for each of the different topics, you need to create a web page that has the information, well, it has examples, working examples in it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay. So my turn, or we talk
Yes.
more about how I can share my
You can make your presentation. Well, I display it to you here. You need to go to YouTube.
okay. So go to YouTube and
Um,
Vlad,
Yeah.
if you look to your left, there's a green there's a green screen with an arrow in it. It says screen share. And I think that's how you can share your screen.
1 second.
you need to.
So I need to go to YouTube or not?
No.
And from here, you can do it, I think. Just click screen share.
It should be in the top left corner of this
Okay,
window.
green. Okay. Green one. Okay, and I will share my screen. Okay. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, 1 second.
Wait, we can make from here.
Okay. Interesting. So, can you see something except my, okay. Can you see my PowerPoint?
Yes.
Or not? Yes?
Yes.
Oh, good. Good. Okay. So I don't know level of each of us concerning JavaScript and JavaScript objects. So Alfredo, he already talked about objects and different things. So I tried to explain different situation and different ways to create object in JavaScript. And Alfredo, he talked about functions and variables. So methods and properties, it's the same as functions and variable. The only thing we use them inside an object, and it's part of our object. So it's very simple. So methods and variable and methods and functions is the same. Property and variables is the same. And object, it's presentation, some physical things in the world in programming. And methods described what this object can do, and properties, some characteristics of this object. So it's programmers created objects to describe and to explain behavior of different real world things. And in my first example, we have object. Its name is student, and it use how I wrote in my title. It use literal notation. So all things. What it mean literal notation? So everything you wrote inside object. So we have some properties, name, class, availability, and we have methods, check availability. So we wrote everything inside our object. And this is create an object using literal notation. And very often in objects we can use this keyword, and it helps us to return value of our property from object. So a very important keyword. If you have any question, so ask I or maybe Alfredo or someone else can answer instead of waiting until the end. How we can access object, or better to say, how we can access properties and methods from object. So first, we can do it by using dot notation. So the name of our object, student, after that dot, and after that the name of our property of the name of our method. And second way,
Yeah. My question is, when you do the notation, the capital, lowercase, does that matter?
Capital, you mean
like
name
student?
of?
Yeah. The lowercase,
So,
is it case sensitive is what I'm trying to say, I guess.
So as I know, it's not important for JavaScript. Someone else have other opinion?
Yes, it is case sensitive. If you use a student with a capital S, it will be a different object than student with a lowercase s.
Yeah. I mean, it's not important if you use lowercase or capital. So you can name your method, or you can name your property with lowercase and with capital K. But yeah, it's
the convention
case sensitive.
The convention is that you should have most everything start with a lowercase. The exception is if you're doing a prototype or if you're doing a class, and those would be start with an uppercase letter, and then everything else should be done in camel case.
But I think you can use or lowercase and capital K. Yeah, we have some rules. Yeah,
it will work, but the best practices are to start it with lowercase and use camel case.
Yes, I agree. So second way, access an object with square brackets. So name of our object, and after that in square brackets, name of our property or method, and nothing between square brackets and name of our object. And this way of accessing object we can use especially when we have in name of our method or property some special character like dash, or for example if our name of our property or method numbers. So it's not. So usually people not use numbers, but you can use it. So if you do it, you need to put in square bracket. So here, other way for creating object using constructor notation. So we have first we create our object by using keyword new and object constructor function. So this is special function in JavaScript for creating object with brackets. And after that, we can add properties and methods in our blank object. So this is second way. First, we add everything inside. Here we do other way. Any question about it? Okay. How we can update our object? So we can just wrote other value inside of I don't know how it's so in previous example it was Wednesday 2 p.m. and here we rewrite it and said we want Wednesday 3 p.m.
That would
or
be
we
a
can
state, right?
yeah.
Inside that statement, you just
you
rewrite
just write other information, or we can leave empty string. So our value now it will be nothing, or we can delete property from our object. So it can be this way. This thing's a little maybe complicated, but I think it's important to understand this way for creating object. So we have some object, and I wrote simple things in order to easily understand. So and this object will be our prototype object, and after that we create another object with object create. So object create, this is also special static method in JavaScript for creating object which use special prototype. So inside of bracket, we wrote prototype for our new object Alfredo. Is it understandable? These things. So, for example, we have 100 students, and they all take a class CAT261. So it will be useful this way of creating object, because every object, every new object, it already have property class CAT261 inside of it. Any question?
No, thank you.
Okay. And last things. So this is more understandable and more common things. So if we need to create many objects to represent similar things, we can create instances of the object using the object creation or constructor function. So right here we have object constructor, object creation function or constructor function, and it has so it will be template like in previous example. It will be template for creating our new objects. And oh, sorry. Okay, how I can share big screen? I accidentally. Oh. Okay, so how I told before, keyword this we can use for to return properties of the object, and I don't know why it's. And in the bottom we have two new object or two new instances of our template object or the constructor function. So it used keyword new, and it was our constructor function. So new keyword calls this constructor function and create new object with different properties and different maybe different things. So here we have two students with different name and maybe different name, different name, maybe different classes, different availability. So that's my presentation. I try to be very simple. Any question?
I have one.
Yeah.
Under the creating many objects representing similar things, down at the bottom, under var Alfredo and then new student, does that white space matter, or do they need to be together under new student?
So Alfredo and Darren?
Yeah. If you look under new student, there's a white space, just a space. Does that matter, or do they need to be together?
Between new student, no, it's supposed to be white space here, of course.
Okay.
Because new, this is how I told keyword, and student, okay. This is name of our template function, or name of our object. And also I forgot. So in this example, if how we can see inside of our function, each statement separate by semicolon, even last one. But when we create, so I will show you, when we create, for example, in the beginning, for example, right here, so we have colon. Every statement separate by colon, and last one has nothing in the end.
A comma, you mean?
Yeah, comma. Yeah, sorry.
Sorry.
So yeah, so comma in when we create object using literal notation, or no, just literal notation, we use comma between statement, and last statement has nothing in the end. But for template, it will be semicolon everywhere. That's some things good to know. I think that's it. That's it about my presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, okay.
So next week is, I think, me. And then who else is presenting? Oh, was that you, Harry?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, sounds good.
I have a question. Alfredo, he is still here or?
Yes,
he's
I'm here.
Okay.
I'm sharing your screen to the whole class because we have one single video. I will
Okay.
share
Thanks.
with you the last.
Okay.
So
I got
if you
one
could...
question.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Black.
I just want to remember Alfredo that he sent link for our video presentation to everyone or on
Yes,
our
I will.
Google Hangout.
Okay.
Yes.
I have one question about our assignments. I was wondering if any of you had done the assessments yet.
I'm not yet.
You mean passing
I guess.
a certain...
Yeah, passing the.
Yes. So I've done the first two, and I got a grade back, and I did well on them. So basically, I did the same as what these two guys have done, just did like a presentation, but I did it in the form of a website. Here, I can share my screen and show you just really quickly. Okay, hold on, let me pull it up. So can you see that? So here's just my home page, and then this is my first topic. So I just did examples. I didn't do the nice, pretty displays, which were really nice. I didn't think about that. And then I have a couple of working things down towards the bottom, like here. If you enter a color, it loops through the switch and gives you an option. And then I've got this one as well that tells you how old you are in dog years. But so I have just those two. I think that's the only. Oh, and then I've done a couple of working examples here. But I got back 10, so that's meaning I can't remember, but I don't have to go back and redo it for a better grade. So something like that would be acceptable.
Okay.
So
and
do
what,
you have,
Yep.
on your GitHub, create like an index.html, and then you have links on your index that point to other files on your GitHub, or?
I did a pages, and he sent a link that explained how to do the pages. But let me just show you.
Because I tried following that, and I can't really get it to do what I want it to do.
So basically, I just have one of my GitHub, I don't even know what they're called, repositories, that's what they're called. This particular GitHub repository is linked to a page, and so when I stick things on here, then I can go and access those things in the form of a website by going to basically this website right here, just the Dresden.Tammy. So I just followed the instructions that he sent to us. I honestly can't remember exactly how I did it, but I remember it wasn't very difficult. So, but if you have a website already, if you have something hosted somewhere, then you can just do a web page on your hosted site.
Yeah, that's what I have website, so it's more simple. So you don't need to use GitHub.
Yeah. I have one, but I'd already set up the GitHub, so I decided I should learn GitHub Pages.
Okay. So
Anyway,
Tammy,
yes.
so we don't do presentations then? We just gather the information and then just add it on kind of to just like a document.
Right. So basically you're doing a presentation, but on your website.
Oh, okay. Okay, I got it.
I mean, the video you have, if you present to our group, then you have to turn that video into him, but you don't have to turn in a video unless you've presented on that topic.
Okay, I got it.
All right.
I think if you ask this question, I think it might help me. What does your index.html look like, the code?
Okay, it's basically just a website. It's, hold on. Let me get back there. I didn't make it any different than any other index. It's just a normal HTML web page. I think it's a setting within GitHub. So you had to go to settings, which right here, you had to go to settings, and then you had to do something. I don't remember. You had to go to GitHub GitHub Pages, and
Sister,
do something.
can you open more the window, please?
Is that what you mean?
Thank you. Yes.
Okay. So you did the settings, you went to the GitHub Pages, and there was some thing that you had to choose in order to make it so it would do the Pages website. But I don't know what. I don't remember. So.
Okay. Thanks for meeting.
Thank you. Have a good week.
Have a good week.
Bye.
Bye.